Ever since I do these series for the NBA playoff predictions, this trend is becoming a curse. And you know why? Just hear me out. 2022 with the Phoenix Suns lost in Game 7 versus the Dallas Mavericks at home by 33. 2023 with the Memphis Grizzlies lost Game 6 at the Lakers by 40 points. In 2024 with the Denver Nuggets lost in Game 7 at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves by blowing a 20-point lead. In 2025 with the Boston Celtics lost Game 6 versus at New York by the Jason Tatum Achilles injury. So yeah, who's gonna get the curse this year? What a nightmare season they had. October, December, and January were all great until Jimmy Butler tore his ACL. Curry and Draymond might not carry this squad any longer. Clippers might pull a dagger on them. The $28 million scam with this team by not showing up to work. November stretch was pretty bad, but the end of the year stretch except February was great, even with the Harden trade. Sadly, Kawhi Leonard is dealing with injuries, but Darius Garland will carry this team to beat the Warriors. The reunion with Dame time, but still dealing with the Achilles injuries from last year. The promising rookie named Hassan Yang looks pretty good. This team looks hot and cold throughout the regular season, but promises are being made for Dame's return. They might have to beat Phoenix in order to do that. Last year's shit show forced to remove KD and Beal from that failed super team back in 2023, but somehow they managed to pull off real smooth with Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker. February was pretty bad for them, but it's enough to face Portland before getting whooped by the Spurs. I thought this team was supposed to be good after 2 consecutive conference finals appearances, but fell off on March and April as usual, getting ready for another revenge from the 2024 playoffs with the Nuggets. Bad news, their players are injured before Saturday. The new hungry team just can't stay consistent. I mean, trading for KD is fine, but you're not going against the Warriors. They could upset the Lakers, but they lost to them back-to-back from March. But again, the main issue with this team is too many turnovers. And this team know how to guard the rim. Defense was the biggest disaster for the Lakers this season, despite winning in a close game. A great run on March, but there's one problem with that. Luka Doncic is injured with a hamstring. I'm surprised that LeBron and Austin Reeves can do it without Luka. God hope that we need to get a defense. I knew the Western Conference was a 3-man race for the 3rd spot, but Denver's winning streak in April proves it, and they hold on to a lead in Game 7 for once. It's against your favorite rival from the East, known as the Timberwolves. Another episode of Joker vs. Ant-Man. A young contender is rising up again. They may be strong on paper around the court, but Wemby suffered another injury from Sunday, but might be ready to go for sure. Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle are the new backcourt duo, with be a dark horse to the finals. They did sweep OKC though. The defending champ, more like the defending champ and foul merchant, but that's just an insult. SGA has proven to win another MVP and title to build the OKC dynasty. The problem with this team is San Antonio. They've been swept by them 5 times in a row this year. This is a story where Miami will fluke to another playoff spot with some luck behind. Bam Adebayo scored 83 points, but it was against the terrible Washington Wizards squad that looked like a G League team. Sorry, Heat, if you want another luck, then beat LaMelo Ball first. Is it me or the Hornets are just me? The only good players I see is LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. Their defense is just porous and bad on how many games they lost. Miami might not be easy, but they need to fix their defense first in order to make it to the dance. Orlando just made a deal to sell their souls to get Desmond Bane, but this team cannot stay consistent whatsoever. Paulo Banchero still doing his thing, but Jonathan Isaac and Jet Howard will be out the first few games. If only this team can stay consistent, they will win their awful division again. Welcome back, Sixers. After that awful season last year with injuries, this season is just so mid for them. November and January were bad for them. I like their rookie VJ Edgecombe was doing, but trading away Jared McCain to OKC wasn't a good thing. VGA had to deal with a 25-game suspension and Embiid was injured again. If only they stopped wasting the process in the first place. Trae Young still here? Good. Atlanta is just kind of good, but not good enough. Bad December with a great March, cruise at a spot to win this god-awful Forsaken division. Rumors of Trae getting traded was false, but they did add Jonathan Kuminga to fleece the Warriors. Is their defense any good to beat the Knicks? Time will tell. Toronto in the playoffs? I never knew that. Brandon Ingram somehow went back to All-Star form in his new city and found life again. Bad December, but they trend to stay consistent. Facing Cleveland might be a challenge, as they never beaten them since 2016. Emmanuel Quincy comes back from injury. What happened to this team in particular? I thought the Cavs should be a juggernaut, but injuries wrecked them right before the playoffs. Getting James Harden from the Clippers was good, but this team needs to stay close. Even with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, it's okay, and Toronto. This team kind of looks like a dark horse of the Eastern Conference. The problem is that some of their best players are hobbled, but they'll be back for game 1. They'll be fine. They're just playing a team with no defense. Jalen Brunson will carry them to another conference finals again. Right? Right? Finishing the year strong is a good thing. The offseason looks bad, but Jaylen Brown proved them wrong. Getting the 2 seed without using Jason Tatum in the first half due to injury of this season was impressive. I'm hoping that Jason Tatum stays healthy and not suffer another horrific injury. The real machine of the East. Who knew that Detroit will get 60 wins this year? If you look at this 2 years ago, it will be considered to be delusional for Pistons fans at best. Kate Cunningham is the main star alongside with Jalen Duran, and this team reached the conference finals this year. This season in the NBA is a complete shit show for the ages and chaos, but let me set you guys up. Hoping to get my predictions correctly for once this year, so hope this year will not be a problem. For the 7th seed, I got Portland and Philadelphia, and the 8th seed is Miami and Phoenix. First round of the playoffs, I got OKC 4, Suns, San Antonio in Game 5. This is basically the Trailblazers. Denver Nuggets versus Timberwolves. I have the Nuggets in 6, beating the Timberwolves. And my Lakers versus the Rockets. I have my Lakers in Game 7. Close series, but the Lakers need to work on their defense. Detroit in Game 5, just in case they play Miami again. Boston in Game 5, Philly in the first round as usual. Then the New York Knicks against the Atlanta Hawks. I have the Knicks at 6. Then Toronto versus Cleveland. I have Toronto in Game 7 just in case Cleveland's hobbled again. The second round, I got OKC in Game 6 just in case they play my Lakers. I don't know if the Lakers know how to defeat a legitimate good team. And San Antonio versus Denver. Just in case my San Antonio in Game 7 and that type of Detroit, I have them in Game 5 against Toronto. Then Boston in Game 6 against, just in case they play the Knicks, I have them in Game 6. The conference finals, I have San Antonio Game 6 just in case they play OKC because they always dominate them. And the Boston Celtics in Game 7 just in case we play the Detroit Pistons. So Detroit, but I think Boston is a little bit better than that. And now for the NBA Finals predictions. Oh Lord, this is going to be a shit show for the ages. Who's going to get the curse? Or has the curse been lifted? Boston Celtics. Because I think the San Antonio is basically good on paper on the court. If Wemby stays healthy and the Foxes on Castle are like a dynamic duo in the backcourt. But there you have it. This is basically my 2026 NBA postseason prediction. I'm hoping I get this one right for once because the last few, they are just becoming a curse.